Hey everyone. Can you all hear me? If you can you just say hi, hello in the chat box, please? Um, Hello, welcome to this session. If you can hear me, please put in hi in the chat box. Hey Eric, hey Samuel, hey everyone. Very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining in from. Very excited to be here. Hope you're all doing really well. Hello. Which part of the world are you all joining this session from? Would love to know that. Sydney, pretty amazing. Korea, Michael. Hello, Michael. Melbourne, Nigeria. Wow. Looks like everyone is joining from all the parts of the world. We'll wait for about a minute or so to begin. We are expecting few more participants to join in. Till then, if you can just say hello in the chat box and let us know where you're joining in from, would be really amazing for the others people in the call to know as well. Very excited to be here. We'll be looking into this topic of AI, how it is shaping our world. How can you make the best use of the opportunity that lies in front of us? So we'll be going over that topic in detail today. Okay, I think we can get started. Welcome everyone. In this session, in which we'll be talking about the application of AI, how you can future-proof your career with learning the skill set related to AI. Before we begin, some ground rules of the session that we'll follow. This is a listen-only mode session, so you can just use the chat box. You can definitely have a conversation with us using the chat box, but we'll not be giving the mic access. So whatever you want to communicate with us, the chat box is the best place to go. Let's make this session very interactive. Let's make sure that we are able to understand and even able to share some of some of the examples that you would be knowing about AI in the chat box. So let's keep the session very interactive. Help us with all your experiences that you want to share with respect to how you see AI revolving around you. The session will be recorded. I'm sure some of you may have some network issues and you may not be able to understand or listen some of the part of the session. And if you want to revisit the session, the recording will be shared with each one of you on the email that you used to register for this particular webinar. So as soon as the session is over, in some time you will be able to get the recording in your email box with all the content also. So whatever content we cover will also be shared with you in your email. Okay, so just in case if you get drop off and you're not able to understand, please wait. The recording will be shared with all of you. At the end of the webinar, there will be a small feedback form that will be shared. It's a humble request that all of you should fill this up. This helps us in improving. This helps us in making these sessions even more interactive. Okay, so just to recap, it's a listen-only mode session. Please use the chat box wherever possible. If you have any questions, put it in the chat box. The recording of this session will be shared to you on the email address that you have used to register. And at the end of the webinar, there will be a small feedback form. Please use that to share it with us as well. Okay, let me give a small introduction about myself. I'm Saurabh. I'm joining in from Bangalore in India. I've got about 9+ years of experience in the field of data science and analytics. Currently, I'm working with Meesho as a senior manager in data science. Meesho is a e-commerce company in India which caters to the tier 2 and the tier 3 cities in here. Before to Meesho, I was working with LinkedIn for about 3.5 years. I'm sure everyone is super active there. In case you want to get your next job, LinkedIn is the place that you should go into. So I was there for about 3.5 years. I was helping some of the big companies in the world make decisions regards to hiring and talent with the help of LinkedIn's data. So we would cater to all of these companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and help them with finding the best talent out there. So apart from knowing what happens in the world of AI, I'm also in a good position to give you some insights about what works in the world of job search as well. Um, before to LinkedIn, I was working with Airbnb for about 2 years. Super exciting time. I joined just on the onset of COVID. So to be in the travel company when COVID is happening, it was all a pretty amazing journey, I would say. And before to Airbnb, I was working with Walmart for about 4 years. And therein is the place where I learned about how big data analytics is influencing decisions related to retail. So every time you go to the retail store, it's not just the products that you see. There's a huge set of number crunching that has happened, which is like a symphony of analytics that goes into the backend in order to get you the product in the shelf that you look for. Right. So I was there for about 4 years, worked in different domains of Walmart, and that is where probably I learned everything about analytics. As far as my association with Great Learning goes, it's been about 3 years now, almost, and I've been taking up their a lot of their sessions as a form of a mentor, and of course all of this session as well. So super excited to be here. I'm really looking forward to help you out in your quest to know more about AI. And so yeah, let's begin with what we have in the agenda for today. So we'll start with the domain. We'll try to understand all the keywords. I'm sure you would have heard everything in silos. You would have heard about what is machine learning, AI, data science, analytics. All of this word could be little bit confusing. So I'll try to get you the first introduction about the domain, what is happening in the domain, where the opportunity lies in the domain, and what kind of skill set you should be preparing is also what we'll see in detail. After that, we'll have some Q&A round. So in case you have any questions with respect to the field, how do you make a career in this particular field? I'll try to help you with that as well. And we have a very beautiful program designed for all of you, which is a postgraduate program in artificial intelligence and machine learning. So we'll have the team here explaining you about the benefits of this particular program. So this is the main thing that we have to cover. Let's go step by step and try to understand all the terms that are very often used. Like there is something called as analytics, there is something called as data science, there is something called as machine learning, there is something called as AI. So let's try to understand this in detail so that you get to know where you need to prepare. Sanjay, I hope everyone is able to hear me, right? Uh, okay. Cool. So let's take an example and try to understand this domain of analytics, data science, machine learning, and AI so that you're clear about what kind of skill set you need to build in order to become one. Okay, now can I say that any organization that you work for in any domain, any vertical, it could be finance, it could be marketing, it could be banking, it could be travel, any industry, any company, any domain that you work for will have problems, and there are business problems, and the company needs to make a decision, right? The point A for every organization is your business problem, and point B is to make a decision. Now, to travel the distance from business problem to decision is, what do you think? Can data play a good role? Can data help companies make better decision? What do you think? Yes or no? There are some business problems, and in order to solve those business problems, can we utilize or can we use data to solve that particular problem? Do you think it will give them better results, more confidence in the decision that they're making? Anyone, what do you think? Can company leverage data for making decisions? Absolutely yes. And why do you think they should leverage data for making decision? What is that in the data that makes them favorable for making decisions? Why can't we rely on a gut-based decision making? Why can't we rely on just fluke decision making? Do you think data gives them much more accurate decisions? If you're using data for making decisions, does it lead to much more accuracy? What do you think? Yes, no? If the companies rely on data for making decision, does it usually end up being a good decision and end up being a correct decision? Yes. For example, let's say let's say if you were to purchase a mobile phone, now would you directly go to the store and be like, pick up the best phone available, or do you think you will do some research before you purchase that particular phone? You will research, right? You will find out what is the specs, you will find out what is the price, you'll find out what is the memory, what is the features, etc., etc. You will compare that and then you will make a purchase, right? So if you're relying on that research, can I consider that research as a form of data analysis that you're doing? You're going to different websites, you're going to different YouTube channels, you're going to different locations to find out the information about the product that you want to purchase. And then finally, you're making a decision. Isn't that a form of data analysis that you are probably doing it for making a small purchase of a mobile phone? Yeah. Now, if to make a purchase of a mobile phone, you're doing this. If you were to make a, let's say the company wants to make $1 billion decision or $1 million decision, don't you think so they would be needing data to make that particular decision? For a small 1,500 rupees phone, 5,000 rupees phone, or $5,000 phone, $1,500 phone, we are doing so much of analysis. For millions of dollars of decision, do you think the companies would rely on data for making that decision? Absolutely, yes. Now, in order to complete this cycle from business problem to decision using data, can I say it is absolutely critical for us to understand the business problem? If you have no idea about the business problem that you're trying to solve for, no matter how good the data is, no matter how amazing the data is, will you be able to help company drive that decisions? If you have no clue about the banking segment and you have all the data available to you, will you be able to help the company in the best way possible to make that decisions that they want to? So can I say that understanding the business problem is absolutely critical in order to utilize the data? Yes. So knowing the business problem, understanding the business problem, can I say is the most critical part before even we go to the data? Now, in order to understand the business problem, can I say that asking the right question is a way to understand the business problem better? Correct? For example, if you're not feeling well and you go to the doctor, does the doctor directly give you the medicines? You went and he is like, oh, take this medicine. Does that happen like that? Is he giving you the solution directly? No. What does he do? If you're unwell and you go to the doctor, what's the first thing that the doctor does? A good doctor does. Anyone? He asks you a lot of questions, right? He'll probe you, he'll examine you, he will try to understand what's going on. And can I say the person who has a very, very good domain understanding, right? Anyone who has a very good domain understanding is able to ask the right question. The doctor has a very strong understanding of his domain, and because he has a very strong understanding of the domain, is he able to ask the right questions? Correct? If he had no clue about eyes, will he be able to ask you the right questions? No. So can I say domain understanding is absolutely important to ask the right questions? Isn't it? In similar way, in the world of business, can I say that unless and until you have a domain understanding, for example, if you're working in marketing, can I say you should know how consumer behavior works? If you're working in supply chain, you should know how things moves. If you are in banking, can I say you should understand how the rules and regulation in banking works, how interest works, how credit works, how the products are designed there. Yeah. So the first and the most important thing that is required in this world of AI or data science or machine learning, whatever you want to get into, is a clear understanding of the domain. And if you have a clear understanding of the domain, you will be able to or you will be able to ask the right questions. If you are able to ask the right question, you will be able to understand the problem really well. Okay, are you getting it? Like, what is the importance of domain, or what is the importance of knowing business really well in this whole world? Yeah. Once you understand the business problem, then is the part where you convert the business problem into the data problem, right? Just like the doctor, once you understand what problem you are in, then he will ask you to do some test diagnosis. So once you understand the business problem, can I say the next step is to convert it into the data problem? Okay, for example, a very simple example we'll take. Let's say the sales in a particular store. Okay, sales in a particular store is going down. Store of Walmart is 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 going down. Now, in order to solve this particular problem, can I say we'll look into different data? Can I say we'll look into the store level data? What products you are selling, when the store opens, what are the offers in the store? Correct? You will look into the product data, what kind of products we have, is there an out of stock situation, what kind of inventory we are storing, what kind of products we are storing. Can I say we'll look into the marketing data, all the offers, all the in-store campaigns that goes on, you look into that. Can I say in order to know why the sales is going down, you will probably also look into the customers data. Is the customer demographic correct or not? Are we catering the right product to the right customer or not? In order to understand why the sales is going down, can I say you will also look into the returns data? Because if the sales is going down, quality could be a factor, and the best way to measure the quality is returns. So can I say you will look into the returns data? Now, in this process, can I say that you're converting whatever was the business problem into the data problem? Are you getting it? Like you're tying the business problem, whatever you had, to the relevant data that can help you solve that problem? Yeah, is this making sense to everyone? I understood the business problem that I have to solve for. Now, can I say the next step that you need to do is to map the problem with the relevant data? Agree to this point? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. Now what happens? Let's say you have a data. Let's say you are running a small ice cream store. I'll give you a very simple example that how data can help make better decisions. Let's say you are running a small store, ice cream. You're selling this cute ice creams, and you are very tech savvy. What about conducting? Yeah, competitive. Very good. I missed on that. Thank you for that. Very important. We should also look into the competitive data. Yeah. I'm just giving an example. Like these are the data points that you will look into in order to solve that particular problem. Okay. Now let's say you are selling, you are running a small store wherein you are selling ice creams. And because you are very data savvy, what you do is you capture the temperature on that particular day and the sales of ice cream. Okay. Sales in units of ice cream. Now, when the temperature was 10, the sales was 100. When the temperature was 20, the sales was 200. When the temperature was 30, the sales was 300. When the temperature was 40, the sales was 400. Now, if this pattern holds true in the future, if this pattern holds true in the future, can you easily predict what will be the value at 45 degrees Celsius? At 45, based on the pattern that we are observing right now, what could be the potential sales? 450. Very good. Okay, now let's say this information you know 5 days in advance because you know that Google is telling you that the temperature will be 45 in next 5 days. If you know this number 5 days in advance, will it help you plan your inventory better? As a company who is running this particular store, will it help you plan your inventory better? That I will have to go to the market and purchase 450 units of ice cream. Will it help you plan your cash flows better? Right? Because you'll have to purchase 450 units of ice cream. You need some cash to go and buy it from the market. So will you plan your cash flows better? Will it help you plan your human resource better? For example, if for every 200 units of ice cream, you need one person, for 450, probably you need 2.5%. So will you be able to have a person in the store before even this event has occurred? Right? So if you're relying on data for making decisions, that's what I was saying. If you rely on data for making decisions, will you end up making more right decisions than wrong decision? Absolutely yes. Now, if you observe here very carefully, what you were actually doing in the back end, which you didn't observe, was you converted this data. I have a business problem. I understood the business problem. I converted into data. Now, in the next step, what you're doing is, can I say you're converting data into an equation? The equation here on this data point was y is equal to 10x. If you carefully observe your answer of 450, the reason why you were giving the answer as 450 was because the equation that was satisfying this data point, the equation that was enabling or powering this data point was y is equal to 10x, right? And because the equation was y is equal to 10x, if somebody asks you what will be the sales at 35, you simply do 35 into 10 and you get 350. If somebody comes and asks you, hey, what could be the potential sales at 45? You said 450. Can I consider this equation? This equation in the world of data is also called as a model. This is your model. Okay. When you convert the data into an equation, whenever we convert any data points into an equation, it is called as a model. And this equation helps us in making much more accurate decisions. Okay. So what are the steps? I have a business problem. I convert it into data problem. I convert data into the form of an equation. Now, in order to achieve all of this, can we do it without the help of technology? In this case, the data point that I had was very less. What if you have millions of data points? What if you have billions of data points? In that case, is it possible to manually do it without the help of technology? Anyone? No, right? So can I say we need to take the help of technology here? Right? We need to enable this entire process using tech. Right? Tech is required. Otherwise, how would we be able to process such a large amount of data? So this whole process where we convert the business problem into data problem, that data into a model, which is an equation to help companies make decision with the help of technology, is nothing but your data science. This whole process, yeah, this whole process wherein we understand the business problem, convert that business problem into data problem, convert that data into an equation, that equation that best fits the whole points into into the decision. This whole process is your data science. Is this making sense? This particular part, right? You have a data, you have to make a decision, you're creating an equation, you're converting that equation in order to make a decision. That is nothing but your data science. Okay, so we understand the business problem, we apply the mathematics. Mathematics is nothing but the equation with the glue of technology into an actionable insight is nothing but your data science. Okay, now what happens next? Okay, data science, I hope everyone is clear, like what exactly is the data science. Now what happens is, looking at the success, looking at the, yeah, of course. Slide and recording, everything will be shared with you, okay? Right now, let's focus on the concept. The recording and the slide will be shared to you on your email address. All right, let's focus on this concept. I need to cover a lot of things. Now, what happens is, looking at the success of your store, a new store opens. Okay, looking at the success of your store, new store opens. He's like, oh, this person is selling ice cream, and as temperature increases, his sales is increasing. So let me also open this store. Now, when the new store opens, suddenly we see that the new data points that we get at 35, I'm getting the sales as 300. At 30, I'm getting the sales as 260. At 45, I didn't get 450, I got the sales as 400. Now, this is the new data points that we are getting. Now, do you think, based on this new data points, based on this new information that we are observing, or the new data point that we are observing, is the equation y is equal to 10x the best equation to predict the next temperature sales? Do you think this equation is the best equation right now? Y is equal to 10x? No. But what if I tell you the machine can read this entire data on its own? The machine can automatically read this entire data on its own and update this equation which best fits all of this data point. Say, for example, he reads all the data, the new data. This is my new data. And this is my, the old data. Can I consider it as a training data? The word that I'm using here is training data. To create that equation, can I say I trained the data for that equation? So can I consider this data point as my training data? In order to get this equation, I trained the model. Trained in the sense I fed that particular data. So it's called as a training data. Now I'm getting a new data, which probably has never seen. Now, based on this new data, can I say this equation should automatically change? Right? Because I'm pretty sure if I want to know what is the value at, say, 25 degrees, if I use y is equal to 10x, it will say 250, which is not the case because a new store has come. It is eating into the competition. And because it is eating into the sales, I need a new equation. And if the machine is automatically able to detect the new equation on its own, for example, 9x minus 5, if this is the equation that he finds out is the best equation for this data point, now the prediction that we'll make, for example, at 25, what is the sales? I'll do 9 into 25 minus the 5, 220. So now can I say this 220 is much more accurate and much more closer to the reality compared to 250, which I would have got if this equation wouldn't have changed? Do you agree with this? Yeah. Now, this part where the machine automatically updates the equation, the machine looks at the data, automatically update this equation, you know what it is called as? If the machine is automatically able to update this equation, he looks at the data, finds out which is the best equation possible. This whole process is called as machine learning. This whole process is called as machine learning. Are you getting the key difference between no, it's not an Excel plugin. It's just an Excel. So are you getting the difference between the two? The data science is much more of a static equation, the static model that you create. But a machine learning is much more dynamic. So for example, I can give you like thousands of examples that you know that it's a machine learning equation. For example, if you're watching only the sports related content on YouTube and suddenly you start listening to music, does your feed automatically changes? Have you observed it? He's observing your data points based on the historic data points. You are only listening to, or you are only watching sports content. So he was only recommending you sports content. As soon as you switch to music, he also gives you the recommendation of the music. Same thing on Instagram. If you're watching a reels related to, say, finance, and suddenly you start watching reels related to travel, does your feed get updated according to that with the new interactions that it is getting? Yeah. So can I consider that as a machine learning? The machine is trying to learn from you. And what does the machine learn? Machine only changes the equation, right? Every model has an equation. Model is an equation. Model is a mathematical equation. It only changes that mathematical equation to make the prediction. And that is nothing but your machine learning. Right? Get it now? Okay. Okay. I'll make it even more interesting. Now, based on the sales unit, if I see that, okay, the sales are not going as per my expectation, in order to increase the sales, if I create another rule-based model, which also makes a decision on the discount automatically, like he sees that the sales is not coming as per the expectation, it automatically gives the discount on certain products. Now, is machine also making a decision? In this whole scenario, if I also empower him to make a decision, no, machine will update the equation. We have to make the equation. Once we give him the first equation, machine automatically updates the equation. That first needs to come from us because as a human, we know the data better. As a human, we know the business problem better. As a human, we understand what equation can be the best equation there. So that initial equation, this y is equal to 10x will come from us, but the next equation will come from the machine. Are you with me? Because he does not understand the business problem, right? He does not know what we want. So that's the reason why the first part has to be done by us. And then automatically with the new information, it updates that equation and that becomes machine learning. Okay. Now, if this machine learning model also makes a decision, automatically, he sees that the sales is dropping below the expectation, he gives certain discount. The sales is below a certain data point, he needs to order the inventory. If the machine also makes a decision, do you know what this is called as? If your machine is on its own making the decision without any human intervention, it is your AI, the very, very famous word, which is your AI, right? Now, I'll give you some examples and you will be amazed by how AI is changing the things around us. Has anyone used any ride-sharing app like Uber or anything else? Anyone has seen any ride-sharing app nowadays? Yeah. You want to go from point A to point B, right? You want to go from point A to point B. Now, who decides the price? You put in the location X, location Y. He gives you the price. Who decides that price? In Uber, who decides the price? Is it a person sitting in the Uber headquarters telling, hey, you know what? For you, the price will be $100. Who decides the price? If you want to go from location X to location Y, is it a machine who's deciding the price? Do you think there's a person who's sitting and deciding? Uber? No. In Uber, who's deciding? Of course, Uber will decide. The machine is deciding without any human intervention. The machine is deciding what is the price, right? Does it consider a lot of other variables? Does it consider the real-time traffic, weather, demand, supply, time, location? It considers all of this variable, looks at the competition, looks at its supply, and then decides the price. It's a perfect example of how AI is making a decision. I'm sure you would have observed this in case you're using any of the e-commerce websites, especially Amazon. Amazon has around 100 million products on its listing. Have you observed that the price keeps on changing throughout the day for a certain very popular product? Do you see that the prices keeps on changing almost every time? Yeah, it does. It does. If you observe, for a very, very popular products, the prices are not constant. So what it does, it looks into the demand. It looks into the how many people are searching for that product. It looks into how many people went to the product. It will search on how many people have it added in the cart. So it's trying to gauge the demand. It looks at supply. If the demand is way too higher than the supply, it will jack up the prices. Now, do you think in that case, exactly how the airline travel industry also works? It looks at all the information about the user. Is he a frequent traveler? Is he using a credit card or not? Is he been traveling a lot or not? Is he a business class traveler? If he is a business class traveler, he will increase the price directly there because he can afford that. So all of this decision that you see around you is not driven by humans anymore. It is driven by machines, which is learning constantly with the new data that it gets, and then they are making the decision. The decision-making process, which here we were relying on a human to do it. If the machine is able to do it, that is nothing but your AI. Yeah, this was all available with before ChatGPT. ChatGPT is one form of AI which is called as a generative AI. AI is vast, right? You, as a user, we are using ChatGPT, but in the backend, there's like tons and tons of AI things that are happening. Okay, ChatGPT is just one form of AI where it is giving you some text, but at the backend, AI is much more vast. Every small decision that companies used to rely on humans to make it, now the machines are making it, and that is where the opportunity lies. Okay, so is everyone clear on these three words, data science, machine learning, and AI? How are they connected to each other? Sure. Yeah, so we have a human intelligence, right? If you want to cross the road, you need human intelligence, which is that you sense the signal, you sense the data, you see how much traffic is coming, and then you make a decision whether to cross the road or not, right? Now, what if I gave him, if to a machine, if I give him like thousands of data points on how to cross the road, what are the checks it needs to take, what is the distance that he should maintain between him and the vehicle, what should be the speed of the vehicle, what should his speed be while crossing. Do you think we can build a model which can easily cross a machine which can easily cross the road just like how humans do? No. You would be amazed to know, if you know this company called as um, have you known about the Ubers, or have you known about the car which is self-driven car? Waymo is the company in San Francisco. Yeah, I'm sure if somebody is joining from US would know about it. Nowadays, the cars are self-driven. Have you observed it? Have you seen it on the internet somewhere? And how's the car making a decision about self-driving? Can I say it captures the data real time, understands and processes the data real times, makes a decision real time, whether to accelerate, stop, turn, or just put it in the side? Just search about this company called as Waymo and the cars that they are making. They are actually a very good implementation of how AI is actually making the travel without the drivers. No, absolutely not, because it's backed by the data. It is backed by a lot of information. It is backed with real-time analysis of the traffic, the real-time analysis of the people around them, and then he's making a decision. I've been there, I've seen it. It's pretty amazing. So self-driven cars, yeah. So what we are doing is whatever humans could do on its observations, using its thinking, using their actions in the real time, that is where we are converting it into AI. Okay, that's where we are trying to convert whatever how human thinks into the form of the machine who can do it for us. Okay, so um, the human processes perception, inference, decision, action. Um, hey, you know what? I don't need to even go to self-driven cars. Do you think a machine can beat a person in chess, a human in chess? Can the machine make decisions on the chess moves? Correct. If they can make a decision on chess move, can't they make decisions on crossing the uh, crossing the road? Can't they make a decision about how to drive a car if we enable it with the proper hardware? Can we not enable them to make a decision on how to drive a car? Yes. That is all AI. That is all AI. Real-time data processing where machine is making a decision is AI, and that is what you're all seeing the things around you. Okay, so whatever were the main categories of human intelligence, which is perception, you see and you make a decision. Inferences, whatever things that you observe, you infer from that. Based on the perception and inferences, you make decisions, and based on the decisions, you take actions. Now, artificial intelligence, we are in the world where the artificial intelligence is enabling us to do that as well, right? And because of that, a new stream of world is increasing. Like the AI is kind of taking over the world. Every small decision that the companies needs to make is being automated. It is being optimized for. For example, how is it is used in the businesses? Perception. What is perception? Collection of data, detecting signals, right? Which is nothing but your big data analysis. Inference. What is inferences? Means making sense of the data using your data analysis, statistical modeling, machine learning. So from the data, you're trying to infer about the data. Based on that data, you're making certain decisions, right? For example, go, no go. Have you observed sometimes in an e-commerce website, if you visit the e-commerce website for 3 times and you don't buy anything, do they send you an offer that, hey, you know what, I'm giving you some offers? Has anyone observed it? Try it out. No. Go to your favorite website, visit them 2 or 3 times, don't make any purchase. Just go there, visit. Don't try to make any purchase. Pretty sure in the fourth visit, they will give you some offer. Now, isn't this how, let's say you went to a store. Can I say this situation can happen in the store? You went to the store, you saw the items, you went, you came back again, you saw the items, you went back again, you came back again. Now, will the salesperson give you an offer? Given that he knows he has to sell, you know you have an interest, he will judge that, right? He'll see that this is happening and he will give you the offer. So can the machines also sense this? That the user is coming, he wants to buy a product, probably the price is not the best price. So he's going back, coming back, going back, coming back. And then if we just try to play around and nudge him, to make a small discount, and if he makes a purchase, isn't that a machine making a decision? Correct? So this is where the third part comes. Perception is data collection, inference is analysis, decision is making a decision on the information that you're seeing, and then your action is actually how you implement that, which is like robotics or intelligent softwares that we are creating. So this is how AI, which it has all the human which had all the human, capabilities, is now kind of being used by the organizations. Okay, is this making sense? Okay, I'll give you one more example on how, like AI is used in a business model. Take a case. There's a consumer durable company. Just imagine Apple, Samsung, something like that. There's a consumer durable company. They want to obtain the product feedback as soon as the product is released into the market, and not wait for 6 to 8 months, which was the current scenario. Now, what they do, the current structure of the data is available in the form of data. It is available in the form of reviews online. It is available in the form of YouTube comments. It is available in the form of Facebook likes. It is available on Instagram. People are talking about the product. Now, using all of this information that is available outside, can the company, even without doing a survey, understand whether the person is liking the product or not? Based on the call records, in case the person is calling the sales team, based on the reviews that the people are writing, based on the blogs that people are writing, based on what happens on Facebook, the likes, comment, share on the Facebook. Using all of this data, can the company real time understand whether the customer is liking the product or not? Can we understand their sentiments about the product? Can we understand in which context they're talking about the product? Yeah. Using this concept called as natural language processing, which is nothing but understanding the text data. The machines can now understand what humans are speaking because we have trained them, we have given them words, we have given them all the text information, the transcript information. Using that, they are able to understand what is the sentiment. And with that sentiment, we can easily make a decision whether we should continue with the product or we should not continue with the product. Right? So just a small example, like I just want to know what is the feedback of the product. I don't really need to wait for 8 to 10 months for the people to let me know. Real time, based on the information that we are observing on the internet, we can easily make a call whether the person or whether the people in general is liking the product or not. Right? So this is how, if you were to create like a backend of this whole process, we will get all the data from different sources. These are all the different sources: industry forum, marketplaces, brand website. Then we will apply our machine learning algorithm, the mathematical equation, which looks into the words, which looks into the models, it looks into the data, it looks into the text. And through that text, it understands, it uses this concept of deep learning to understand what people are saying. And based on that, he's making a decision that, hey, you know what? These are the features which are lacking. Probably we need to add that. These are the features we need to improve on. Color is not something that people are liking, so we need to change in the next production the color. So that whole process can be automated and can improve the company's efficiency at a very high level. Right? So this is what AI is right now. This is where the future, I would not say it's a distant future. It is kind of say happening real time around us. Right? And whether whether you are a designer, engineer, marketer, and entrepreneur, AI is impacting how we kind of how we kind of value it or how do we use it. Okay. Now, in terms of, yeah, it's a very good question. This looks complicated and needs a computing skills. No. With the invention of Gen AI, the coding has also become, can I say the machine would have also learned how people write the codes? If the machine can tell us how to drive a car, or the machine can drive the car, can I say machine is now capable to even write the codes? Absolutely, yes. If you look at the chat GPTs of the world or any AI tool, it's also enabling people to write the codes. Now that part is becoming simpler. So can I say you need to improve upon how to solve that problem? Right? This is where I started my discussion on. Of course, this is all an enabler. This is all enabling you to do something in a very easy manner. But the most difficult part in here is this one, which is your business problem. Right? You are leveraging AI to solve a business problem. You are leveraging AI to help companies make large scale decision in an automated manner. Okay, so I would say that I would say that it's not complicated. If you know what you have to do, if you understand the business problem better, that is really amazing. Generative AI. So generative AI is like, for example, let's say I have written a book. Okay, in that book, I've explained how to make or I have explained you how to write a certain code. Now, can a machine mug up that entire book, given that he has so much of memory? Can it really mug up everything inside that book? What do you think? Let's say there's a good book written on a coding language, and it has all the details about how to use that coding language. Can it mug up? Now, can it mug up 100 such books? One book, yes. Can it also do 100? Can it also do 10,000? Why not? It just needs computing power, right? It just needs the computing power. If you give him the computing power, it will learn more from that. Now, once he has the data about everything that is possible to do in the code. Now, if you ask him the question, hey, you know what? I want this particular data. Can you write a code for this? So do you think, will it be able to do it? So can I say based on the past data of the book, it is learning, and can I say it will keep on updating with the new books that comes in? You gave him one book, it learned something. You give him two books, he learned something more. You give him three books, he will learn something even more. So can I say it is constantly learning and updating? If it is constantly learning and updating, it is machine learning. And if it is machine learning, who is also making a decision on what code you need to see, the output is a decision. The output is a text that you want to use. He's making his own decision that this should be the output. That is again your AI. But this time it is called as a generative AI because it's not making a decision in form of, let's say, making buying a particular product. It is making a decision in form of generating a text, and that is why it is called as generative AI. Cool. So there are many fields: design, how to create the flows, how to create the brand elements, how to create mockups. Everything is driven by AI nowadays. In using the data of the patient, health history, we can diagnose any problem that he has. In marketing, we can create a personalized content. If the person is into sports, he will get sports content. If he's into music, he will get a music content. Everything is possible because the data learns from the machine. The machine learns from the new information. New information gives decision, and that is where all of this is coming into picture. In the finance world, we can easily detect whether the person is doing a fraud or not because he was making a transaction of $1,000. Suddenly, he makes a transaction of $10,000. The bank will block that particular statement, right? So this is where the world is evolving, and we need to ensure that we have all of this skill set. Okay, critical thinking, emotional intelligence. This is something that probably AI will have difficult time in learning. We need to know how to collaborate and communicate. We need to know the problem solving. We need to have the creativity. This skill set in today's world become extremely important. And then if you learn all the skill set related to AI, for example, in design, you learn the AI tools. In content creation, you use the AI tool. If you learn for data analysis, some AI tools. For project management, you learn the AI tools that will empower your future. Okay, so we need to keep the core of critical thinking, emotional intelligence, collaboration, problem solving, and creativity, which is difficult to replicate for a machine. Plus, we need to empower ourselves with the AI tools that are available. Just one last closing point. When the calculators came, did it made mathematicians irrelevant? No, right? When the calculators were invented, did people stop learning maths? No. When Excel came, I'm sure you would have heard about this tool called as Excel spreadsheet. When spreadsheet came, does it took away the jobs of the statisticians or mathematicians? No. But can I say these two tools were a good enabler for both of the for in both the scenarios? Can I say it improved them? It empowered them. It improvised their skills. The things that they were spending a lot of time in doing the calculations. Can I say that it was being taken into consideration from there? In similar way, can I say the AIs will improve us, will empower us, will make us better in the things that we do? Exactly. And that's why we need to be in the flow. We need to not run away from the AI. We need to learn how to build this AI tools. We need to learn how this AI tool works. We need to learn how AI can help make companies decisions, right? If you are building tools which are helping companies make decisions, you will be relevant in today's world. Otherwise, AI is there to do your work, right? So we need to be in this century of 2025. It is absolutely critical that we learn all of our AI tools. Okay, can AI make decisions of government laws and regulation? It cannot, like it is not regularized to make the decisions. AI can't make a decisions on what is it, but it can assist based on the rules and the regulation and all the government rules. It can assist anyone to know which section can be used. But of course, some places we can't allow machines to make that decision. Law and regulation is one such. Okay, so this is what I had to cover today. I hope you have got a brief understanding about how this world is all about. We need to learn about the business problem. We need to learn about how to use the statistical equation. We need to learn a little bit of technology which is assisted by AI. And that is how you will be able to enter on this particular field. Cool. Now I have with me Simran, if you are here, Simran will guide you in the next steps, like how do you learn whatever we have just seen. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Saurabh, thank you so much. It was a very wonderful, information that you've shared with us. Now I'll share my screen moving forward. Just a second. Is it visible?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, sure. Now, this is like very good afternoon, good morning, everyone. This side Simran. I'm currently working with Great Learning as a senior learning consultant, and I'll give you an overview about the program for artificial intelligence and machine learning that is being offered by University of Texas McCobb School of Business. Right. So this is going to be entirely an online program for 7 months where like once the program is completed, you will get the certificate by University of Texas that you have successfully completed the program. Now coming on to the program, so it's going to be a 7 months program where 8 to 10 hours per week, the time commitment is required. Moving forward, you'll get recorded video lectures from UT faculty, interactive mentored learning sessions also. So it's like Monday to Friday, all the sessions that will be provided to you, it will be from UT faculty. And the live interactive sessions will be taken care by the industry experts who are having like more than 15 to 20 years of experience in the industry, right? So they will be taking care of your live interactive sessions, which is kind of a two-way communication where you will be able to ask your questions and the facilitators will be able to answer your all the questions and doubts, right? Now, the sessions, the live interactive sessions, the duration for the sessions will be 2.5 hour sessions. Overall, the time commitment is 8 to 10 hours per week. Now, moving forward, you'll be working on 7 hands-on projects on this 7 months learning journey. You'll be allocated with 7 projects where individually your performance will be monitored and the feedbacks will be given to you. The facilitators will be assigning you the assessments and the assignment work. You need to work on that. And individually, your performance is monitored. The feedbacks are given to you by your facilitators. You will be working on 40 plus real world projects, case studies to work on business problems, of course. Now, along with that, once the 7 months is completed, you'll get the personalized mentorship sessions as well with the industry experts. Like you'll get the proper career assistance for your CV, for your LinkedIn profile, and also for your interview preparations by the counselors. So like the case study discussions will be also there, the doubt clarification sessions, and the industry knowledge. Now, along with that, now coming onto the program, artificial intelligence, we all have understood that AI is something which is not restricted to any particular industry or domain. So to keep on upgrading ourselves, to keep on upskilling ourselves, it's very much important. If we wanted to survive in this competitive world, we have to upgrade ourselves with the latest technology of AI. Right? So this program is the right fit for you, of course, because this program has been designed for the professionals who want to advance their career in AI ML or or break into the domain with the job ready skills. So this is the perfect opportunity even for the people with those who are not having any programming background or no coding experience, who wish to gain a technical skill for a rewarding career. Right. Now, coming on to the university part, so the certificate, like once the program is completed, certificate is directly by the University of Texas. It is globally accepted. You go to any country in the world, certificate will be accepted worldwide. So this is kind of a certificate that this is the dummy certificate. You can see the name of the university will be mentioned, your name that you have successfully completed the program, the name of the program for which you're getting enrolled for, and the signatures and the signatures of the director of the university, right? This is the dummy certificate that in this form your certificate will look like. Now, University of Texas ranks number 3 in the US for business analytics as per the QS University ranking in 2022, ranked 5th in custom programs like Financial Times Executive Education 2022. Right. So this is one of the program is provided by one of the prestigious universities across world, right? And certificate will be accepted globally. Now, moving forward, being a hassle-free application form. Now, how to get enrolled for this program? So there's very first important information that I would like to give you. That is the application form. So what you have to do, we'll share a link for the application form. You have to mention your statement of purpose in that why you want to do this program. Once you fill your application, your profile will be under reviewed by the admissions team, the admissions panel. And if in case the profile gets shortlisted by the admissions team, they would like to have a quick telephonic round with you where they would like to understand about your profile, your intent for the program. Once your profile gets shortlisted by the admissions team, we'll release your offer letter. Now, on the offer letter, you will be having all the payment options to pay the admission fees, right? And to get enrolled for this program. So the upcoming application deadline is 12th of June. So you have to fill the application so that we can expedite the process as soon as possible for the upcoming cohort for which we are taking admissions and enrollments. Okay. Yeah. So now what is the collaboration of UT Austin and Great Learning? Now, Great Learning, firstly, it's one of the leading EdTech company based out in India. So we are basically the delivery partner. Now, Texas McCobb School of Business, we in collaboration with the University of Texas, we are providing this program. Now, what is the work of Texas McCobb School? It's an academic partner. Curriculum and the content has been designed by university itself. Recorded video and lectures will be provided by the universities. Case studies and projects, it has been again designed by the university itself. Certificate of course completion, again by University of Texas. Now, what is the work of Great Learning here? It's the delivery partner, mentored learning sessions. So the live interactive sessions that you will be having once in a week will be taken by the facilitators, the industry experts, learning management system. So once you get enrolled for the program, we give you this learning management system, which is called as Olympus, from where all the live sessions, all the sessions will be taken care. Along with that, the program managers. Now, program managers are from Great Learning. So once you get enrolled for this program, within 24 to 48 business hours, the program managers will be assigned to you. They will be there with you during this entire program journey until you receive your course completion certificate. So let's say you will be having any doubts, any queries, you can always reach out to the program managers and they will be resolving your doubts and queries within 24 to 48 hours within the business hours. With that, you'll get the proper academic support as per the conversation that we had, that will be giving you the proper career support for your CV, for your LinkedIn profile, and also for your interview preparations by the counselors. Okay. Now, the Q&A session, right? So any questions, anything that you want to ask, you can put your questions here in the chat. We'll help you out with that. Along with that, for once you fill the application form, or even if you wanted to schedule a call, there's an option, or we'll share the link directly, right? You can schedule a call with your program advisors. They'll help you out with the entire program information for artificial intelligence and machine learning and the entire process to get enrolled for the program. Okay, thank you so much.